take us through what that final hurdle was for Kevin and how it was communicated to you that he is indeed ready to go?
Yeah, I think it's kind of what I've been saying all along is that he had gotten a certain amount of high intensity playing opportunities in and was able to sustain, his level, his effort, and recovery the next day. And so basically once he reached a certain amount of those days in succession, they felt like, it's safe for him to return to play.
How will you go about managing his minutes tonight?
Yeah, we'll definitely be careful with him. We're not going to send him out there to play 35 minutes tonight, but we'll see how the game goes and figure out what's the best process for him to stay safe first and foremost, to get time and basketball back into his legs in a real environment. But the goal is for him to reincorporate into the team safely, to give him one more step, an extended step of that process we just talked about. Not to get out here and he's, free to play as much as he normally does and to put the demands on him that he hopefully will be able to, handle in the near-term future, sorry.
Brian Lewis, New York Post.
Hey, Steve. This is twofold. One, with James, was this a situation where the initial scan was clean and showed nothing, and another scan subsequently showed, a strain, grade 1, what have you? Yeah. Is that in essence what happened with James? And secondly, however long he's out, if he's out 10 days, if he's out 15 days, you have, I think, 13 games left in the regular season. How concerning is it that your regular season is really going to be very truncated in terms of trying to get the big three, trying to get this team together and on the court together before the playoffs? Yeah.
I believe what you said about the scan was clean to a grade 1 on the second scan. I think that's fairly accurate. I'm not the doctor, so I'm not totally sure, but that's kind of how it was presented to me. And then as far as time and chemistry, it's a concern and, it's not ideal. At the same time, it's not a concern that we worry about the things that we can control. And that is when he's healthy and ready to go is kind of out of our hands. It's up to when that hamstring is ready. And so we're not going to spend a ton of time worrying about the negative ramifications. We're going to spend time adapting in the interim and excited when he does return.
Bruce Beck, NBC New York.
Steve, Bruce Brown said this morning that KD makes the game easier for everyone and himself. How do you react to those comments?
I would concur. He's one of the greatest players of all time. He's able to play in almost any style. He's able to post up. He's able to isolate. He's able to play off screens, and he's able to play with the ball. He's excellent in transition. He's able to facilitate for his teammates. So he's able to do so many things and play in so many different ways that it's remarkable. And so in a sense, it's unique to have a superstar that it isn't. I don't want to say that tonight might not. Be the easiest outing in that you are bringing someone back into the game after a long absence. But if you're ever going to bring someone in and have less turbulence, it'd be Kevin. He doesn't need the ball all the time. He's able to produce with or without the ball. And he fills so many different roles and score in so many different ways.
Alex Schiffer, The Athletic.
Hey, Steve. Against the Knicks, you guys had a lot of success at limiting second chance points. I think the margin was 26-2, and New Orleans is one of the better rebounding teams in the NBA, and I think they're towards the top in offensive rebounding. Just what needs to carry over from Monday to kind of have similar success against a team like that?
Well, for sure, we have to be physical in getting rebound. They're a great offensive rebounding team, and Zion's going to put a lot of pressure on our defense. And so that means that you're not necessarily going to be with your in help positions or rotations. And so we're going to need everyone to come in and help and be physical. And, that is definitely one of the keys to the game is to try to limit how much damage they can do on the offensive glass.
Christian Winfield, New York Daily News.
Hey, Coach. with Alizé obviously approaching, I think he's got this game and then one more before the end of his 10-day. Can you kind of sum up what he's brought to the team? And then when a guy is on a 10-day and the time is kind of running out, do you kind of look at it like, okay, well, let's get him some more minutes to really see what we have, or is it really a case-by-case basis?
I think we feel pretty comfortable in what we have with Alizé. He's been outstanding, works hard, plays with incredible energy, is a great teammate. So he's been really, really productive in the minutes he's gotten. So we feel confident in him as a player. He's a great kid. So we love it. We love having him in our clubhouse. We love when he gets a chance to play, and we think it's a player that can help us.
Jen Hale, Pelicans TV.
Hi, Coach. Curious your evaluation of Zion Williamson. This will be his 70th game in his career, and he's putting up some pretty historic numbers. How do you evaluate where he is as a pro right now?
He's a historically talented player. Physicality, strength, size, speed, explosiveness, quickness, mobility, great hands, incredible getting to the basket, finishing at the basket, also a decent playmaker and capable of shooting threes. So he is a remarkable talent, and he's going to only get better as he continues to develop his game and his understanding and his comfort with the league.
Last question, we'll go to Ian Begley with SNY.
Yeah, Steve, Kevin and Kyrie and James, just 7 games together so far. But is it more than just the games? Like, how much are you guys, I guess, able to practice, and have they missed practice time? And what outside of games are they missing in trying to kind of build on-court chemistry?
Well, we don't get to practice very often in this schedule. So we try to get moments, teaching moments, and scripting and constructive pockets whenever we can, film session, shoot arounds, practice days. But you can't really, especially with the injuries we've had this year, you can't add to the guys' physical load on off days, or very rarely. So it's all about kind of teaching, learning, collaborating, connecting. And so, everyone's kind of going through this around the league. It's not been ideal, but we have a lot to be thankful for. Our guys have given a great effort, and I think that, they'll continue to push and come together and find that chemistry, whether it's prohibited by injuries and amount of practice time or not. Our guys will put the time in on the court to invest in each other, put the time in off the court when we travel to invest in each other. And I think that's been a strength of our team this year.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Steve.